Thank you for the introduction. My job today is rather simple. It's really to welcome all the delegates to our roadshow. And I would like to thank everybody for being here. We know that people who work in financial services are generally very busy people, and that this shows your commitment and the wish to do the best for your clients. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you very much for being with us. And it gives me and my team great pleasure to be here with you in Prague. It's for the first time that we are hosting a roadshow in Prague. But when Guillaume tells me we've got very high-powered people in this room, and we're very, again, privileged to have you with us. The theme today is Seychelles, the premier financial services center in the digital era. And people who are in the au fait with IT know how quickly things are changing, how quickly the mode of transactions is changing, how people's wishes in terms of getting rid of cash and paying by internet and having pizza delivered at your house. Everything is changing. It's fintech. And we work very hard in Seychelles towards becoming a modern financial center. And over the last 2 or 3 years, we've tried to reinvent ourselves into what we think we are now a hybrid financial center in the world. At the outset, also allow me to say that Republic of Seychelles has a very stable political environment. I think it's very important that if you're going to trust people to hold your clients' money, and you also want to ensure that there is political stability. And we also have numerous vehicles available to you in terms of protecting your clients' assets, in terms of ensuring that there is wealth generation. So there are people here with us, experts, who will later explain to you the different structures and things that are available to you for wealth management. I will just now go through a little bit about the changes that have happened recently into what makes what we think Seychelles as the number one financial services center. And the jurisdiction in earlier this year, in January, passed all the BEPS requirements in the last global forum of OECD. Also, unlike many other jurisdictions with zero tax, Seychelles has no substance requirements, and the clients do not have to adhere to onerous demands which come with the substance requirements. Also, following the OECD meeting, Seychelles has clarified its position as having a territorial tax system, which has resulted in us proudly introducing the tax identification number, which obviously opening bank accounts is quite a difficult matter for offshore companies. But we feel that with the team, the tax residency, things will improve. We're also more excitingly, and quite recently, 2 weeks ago, we launched what we call the sandbox regulations for fintech. And it is a modern set of regulations. I can't say law at the moment. It was written by the topmost legal firm in UK, Hogan & Lovells. And thereafter, we retained PricewaterhouseCoopers to train our staff. And you will see Faraj, his presentation will give you an indication of the kind of people we now have in FSA to service this sector. And moreover, we've also got our staff who are trained at Cambridge in fintech. So as Seychelles, our aim is that we become the number one fintech financial center in the future. And if I'm not mistaken, we already have 2 applications from mega players in the fintech industry awaiting us to issue initially the license and then the ability for them to operate in a controlled environment. Because already Seychelles with its IBCs, I believe, is ranked in the top 3 in the world in terms of the volume of financial transactions that go through in fintech area. And the people we are talking to have the same common goal as we have, which is that we want to create a credible financial center for this kind of industry, because very often you find people have a fantastic website, launch a coin, grab people's money and disappear. And the people we are talking to want to exclude that. And so I think with the help of these mega players, we want to create a very, very credible financial center in the Seychelles. In December also last year, there was an issue regarding the disclosure in terms of registrar directors. And again, we ensured that in now and in future, there will be confidentiality in terms of registrar of directors and also in terms of beneficial owners, which people will elaborate a little bit later. But there is at the moment no registry, a central registry in the government for BOU or ROD. These are, this is information which is retained by your corporate service provider, and only under extreme cases the courts may allow access to that. So as you see, we are now gearing towards providing confidentiality towards you, and also to make working with Seychelles easy. But confidentiality, we can do all the laws. But if we don't do the right things as an authority, we could have a situation like Panama Papers. So I'm happy to say my board, after some pushing and pulling, agreed to invest a large sum of money. We actually employed maybe number 5. There's a ranking of hackers, believe it or not. And the guy who we retain, he's the 5th ranked hacker in the Far East and number 30-something in the world, who came in, looked at our systems, and we've done everything possible now that you cannot have a situation like Panama Papers in Seychelles. That's what we were told. And also in terms of ease of business, we have CSPs now with us who will tell you that every few days we are doing something new which allows the speed of business, doing business in Seychelles, become better. We have got a new platform for every aspect that we take care of, because we take care. Besides being a registry for IBC, we are also an authority in terms of insurance, gaming. So all this is going online. All the responses are being monitored. We're monitoring staff as to who receives which application and how quickly it is turned around. So you can see that we've done everything possible to give you a product and products that will allow you to service your clients even better. Also with me, as I mentioned, there is corporate service providers. We have Tatania, we've got the chair lady of SIFSA, Aina, we've got our staff, as I said, and Dr. Fani, who will then now go into detail, a bit more detail about what I'm talking about. But so before I end, I'd also like to recognize that we have people who have come here from Cyprus, we have people here from Israel, and yesterday we were talking to a gentleman from Norway. So we're honored to have not only people from Czech, but all the other people who are here with us. So please participate in what we are going to present to you. If you have any questions, we're people who will be willing to answer them. Thank you very much.